welcome to the EthanLive podcast. It is Thursday. I didn't look. Thursday, November the 13th. Thank you for
Very
everybody
good.
for joining us. We are pleasantly surprised and happy to be joined by the American Humane 2025 Hero Dog of the Year, Sergeant Bo and Faye. How are you all doing?
Oh, we're great.
Yeah,
We're better than
Great.
great.
that introduction was great, huh?
Yeah, you
It
already
sounds
got.
good.
Yes.
Well, now that you are a regular on the show, you have to go through some of our normal updates with us.
Yeah,
Feel
you have to
free to
bear
chime
with us.
in. Hold on, let me put the link on in the comments. So if anyone happened to want to join us and uh, ask a question themselves, they can uh, just click on the link. The first comment on the podcast. So a few updates. Gmail Tribble, for everybody that's been following, Gmail Tribble is out of Christian County.
Uh-huh.
He had an update yesterday, and thankfully the people at Circuit Court were nice enough last time just to say, hey, he's going to appear by Zoom. Why don't you guys, I'll give you the Zoom link. Why don't you guys
Right.
just appear by Zoom? So getting the Zoom link wasn't as easy as as he made it out to be, but we got the link.
Yeah.
We got
Finally, I got on there without being seen.
we got the link, and I'm just going to tell you that might be my new entertainment. Just logging in and watching
Oh,
court. I mean, Faye, you probably know
yeah.
all about it with being with the police department, but just logging in and listening to these sort of ridiculous, interesting court cases. It's
It's
just
good.
Yeah.
It's good entertainment.
it's very
The
good.
judges become their own, it's like judge court TV.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think some of them think it's like a TV show.
they
Uh,
do. Yeah.
wow.
And this judge tends to drop little one-liners anyway.
Hmm.
Oh, we
Um,
we had a few of those.
Hmm.
yeah, so yeah, he's kind of an interesting judge, but yeah.
So Gmail's case was, I guess that was his first appearance with a new attorney. And
Yes,
so he was just entering his appearance. They were waiting on some discovery, and it's being pushed to December the what was that?
10th.
Was it 10th? Yeah, December the 10th.
Yeah.
Peter
And we've
Everhart.
learned, Faye, that a new attorney just keeps pushing it along.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
But you want to stall for some more time. I feel like
We,
there's two strategies,
yeah,
and
that
maybe
we're
it's like this
learning.
with other cases too, but especially with like animal cases, felony charge. There's a couple strategies. One is let's get it over with as fast as possible,
Right.
or let's delay it as long as possible.
Yeah.
One, two.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you continue to delay it as long as possible, I mean, what happens to a speedy trial for the victim? Everyone talks
Uh-huh.
about the person being accused has a right to a fair and speedy trial, but what about the victim? That never seems to happen. But
No,
so anyway,
no.
Peter Everhart in Logan County, that is still
Yes.
we're still awaiting the grand jury. They
Granger.
meet once a month. They
Right.
have not
Right.
heard his case yet,
Right.
but as
Meeting
soon as I
on Monday. They're meeting again on Monday, but the caseload, of course, there are a lot in that small county with them only being heard once a month.
Oh
So they're
wow.
not even sure if they'll get to him this time. So, but we're
and
Once
so
still
a once a
watching.
month,
once a
really.
month, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they've got,
Hmm.
once it gets to circuit court, which is felonies, I don't know if it's like this in Tennessee, Faye, but in Kentucky, there's such rural counties that you'll have one judge that is the circuit judge for two, three,
Several.
four counties.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Probably.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
very frustrating. So that's Peter Everhart, Logan County. Chance Shanklin was in Warren County. They're in Bowling Green.
Correct.
That's getting closer down to Tennessee.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is.
Yeah.
Chance was indicted by the grand jury. Was it one charge or two, Debbie? Do you know?
There's two. There are
Okay,
two
two.
charges.
Because there were
Yeah,
two
there were
cats.
two cats. Yes, one's deceased. The cats were Prim and Binks, One did not make it. The other one did survive. But
Mm.
yes, it's the two strangulation, and there was a necropsy, thankfully, that showed that there was strangulation and blunt head trauma. So we're just waiting, and he's got pretrial in December,
Okay. And they don't have an exact date for that, do they?
December the 8th.
December the 8th. Okay, so that is
Hmm.
Chance Shanklin in Warren County, December the 8th.
Right.
And just for folks that are interested, we went to Demetrius Hebert's case last week. Uh,
Yeah.
and the only reason he was really appearing even in court was because of the motion that we had filed to be
Uh-huh.
assigned as court appointed animal advocate. It was a different judge this time.
Yeah.
Both a little frustrating. Both the prosecutor and the defense attorney argued against it. Uh,
Correct.
and meanwhile, there's probably 5 or 6 people in court. And meanwhile, as each of them are talking, I'm standing back there like raising my
Yeah.
hand,
Jeff is
trying to
just
get
raising his
trying to
hand
get the judges
constantly,
trying
like,
to get the
hey,
judges to say.
I'm here.
So eventually, the prosecutor did say,
Yes, he
Jeff, who
did.
filed the motion, is in court today. I just wanted you to know that, Judge. And so then I said, "Can I speak, please?" And she asked
Uh-huh.
both of the attorneys. They said yes, that was fine. So got up to in front of the court to talk with the judge about this particular motion. She was also, interestingly, again, she was also unsure of the judiciary right to assign someone to the case. So I reminded her
Uh-huh.
that she could. The prosecution said, "Oh, one of the arguments was he didn't think it was appropriate to assign a
Because
court-appointed animal advocate because the dog was dead,
was just, yes, yes,
and
was
there was
just
no
six
victim there to advocate for."
over. Right.
So I gave her my opinion on that, and
Yes,
the
very eloquently.
I
the
He
bet.
did.
prosecutor then
He
said that he
did.
would be willing to keep us in the loop with the case.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't think it needed to be an official thing. And I just made it a point to say, if we are on the case as official, then he might feel more comfortable talking with us. He said he would have no problem anyway. She denied the motion. As we were leaving, he asked us to step into a room and talk with us for quite a while about the case. And I
Yeah.
talked to him about why we were doing this, some steps moving forward. He did say to us that he requested this case specifically
Uh-huh.
because he felt strongly about that this person needed to serve, some prison time
Right.
for what had
And
happened.
he
So,
did, yes, and he did kind of tell us a little bit about what he is going to ask for in the sentencing. So hope that, continues
Hopefully.
on with what he was, saying he was going to ask. But it was also interesting, Jeff, to talk to him. Yeah, he seemed he was very interested in taking the case. He knew what was going on. But when we tried to explain to him the need for an advocate in other counties, rural counties, maybe where they're not as knowledgeable, we weren't trying to debate his knowledge of the case by any means.
Right.
But, there have been too many other cases where the part of the sentence does not mention the criminal having animals again.
mhm.
Oh,
That's omitted. And so that's another point of having the advocate in there to say, no, wait a minute, let's make sure we
Well,
include, you know,
and people have heard me say multiple times on here when we're doing court updates that this is the other thing I brought up to him, and he was a very
mm,
nice guy and he was nice enough
yes.
to talk to us for a while. But even in this particular case, this guy needs to be put
Hmm.
into a violent offender status.
Right.
So he wouldn't be eligible for probation or diversion, and he'd have to serve out his sentence. The dog died in this case.
right.
There
Uh-huh.
was a victim that was killed, and when
Right.
there is a victim that's seriously injured or killed, you fall into that violent offender status. And in the state of
Right.
Kentucky, I can't tell you. I'm going to keep saying it until people tell me to shut up. In the state of
No,
Kentucky, that statute says victim. It doesn't say
victim.
person. It says
Uh-huh.
victim. And now that this
Right.
law is passed last year from 2024, the lawmakers in Kentucky have distinguished that there is a victim, a living, or in this case, dead victim,
Right.
and that's
Mm-hmm.
different than your personal property, that your
Property.
car or your house
Right.
or anything like that. There's a difference there. And so
Right.
when
Right.
you beat up your car, that's not a crime whatsoever. It's your car. Do whatever you want with it. But when you beat up a dog or a cat, there's a victim now in the state of Kentucky, and that person should
Uh-huh.
fall into that statute. If they don't like it, they should change the statute.
Right.
That's how I feel.
But
Anyway,
well, but it's another time, thankfully, you were there. You were able to speak in court, and then to be able to speak to another prosecuting attorney and bring up those points, at least those are now on his radar. So,
yeah, yeah.
That should be in every
continue.
state.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
let's before we
definitely.
jump into
Would
some
you?
other stuff. What do you know anything about the animal abuse laws in Tennessee? Or are they
I
have
don't.
any felonies? No, it's it
It's
should be um
givens,
it
but
could be in Tennessee. Kentucky is just so we've been at the bottom for so long in Kentucky.
uh-huh.
Ranked between 45 and 50th as far as the animal welfare for so long, and hopefully this when they start factoring that stuff in and they see a lot more people with some convictions or pleadings or whatever, it will move up the list. But there's a bunch of other things that's just a little step in a lot of other steps that sort of have to take place.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so we see when we normally have these, Faye, they're just full of joy and so much happiness. But anyway, let's
No, but
get
that's a
We
good
do.
thing. That's a good thing, you know.
Yeah,
let's get to the fun stuff. So
yeah.
so you tell us the whole sort of your experience. We talked to you before about not flying very much, and you guys were getting on the plane. You're taking Bo, and you're going up to New York City. Sort of tell us your whole journey from leaving from Tennessee up to New York, and how you met everybody and Dr. Robin, and you guys went to the show, and how cool was all that?
Oh, she's amazing. You know, he did really, really well in the airport. So that was
Hey.
obviously, you know, I had a little bit of a worry because he's never been anywhere like that. So we get through security, and of course, the delays.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I think we got there 2.5 hours before, went through security, and then the plane was delayed for, I
Oh
think it was delayed an hour.
yeah.
So, you know, he looked at the pet relief stations and it was like, nope, I want no part of
Oh,
them. So
that
he just
sounds
held it,
familiar.
All
you
right.
know. So we get on the plane, and luckily for us, the trip up there, it was row one.
Uh,
So, you know, he had plenty of room. He does
good.
well. He lays down. It was kind of funny
Oh,
when the plane went to take off. That's the
oh,
room he had. When the
Yeah.
plane went to take off, I think it was like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? And he jumped up in my lap.
Oh, cute.
oh,
Yep.
did he?
So, you know, once the plane got to where it was going, he kind of got back in the floor, and he was fine. They did say the descent was going to be, there was going to be turbulence.
Oh,
The girl that went with me, she said, oh, that was just a little turbulence. No, it wasn't.
oh, it wasn't, huh?
Not to
Oh,
me.
okay.
It was
That's
about
all
30
perception,
minutes.
isn't it?
And I'm sitting there thinking, where's the barf bag? What am I going to do? Because I was
Oh
sick. And then
no.
again, he jumps up in my lap. So him
Oh,
and I were sitting there wondering what was going on. And the girl that went with me was asleep.
Mm.
oh, well, I've flown with people like that.
So, you know, we get to New York, and we're waiting on a drive. Well, we're trying to find the driver. And so we get in the vehicle, and they were doing a dinner that night where all the dogs, that evening, where all the dogs can meet each other. And we were already late, you know, so they were kind of
Uh-huh.
waiting on us. Never experienced New York traffic, never experienced New York drivers. Uh,
Oh,
so honestly, that descent into New York was terrible, and that first hour in that car was terrible.
oh
I mean,
my.
if I
Oh,
had a dime for every horn I heard blow, I'd be rich.
yeah,
Did you guys fly into
yeah.
LaGuardia?
Yes, yeah. And I mean, the driving was crazy. So we're in the back seat again. I'm like, I'm fixing to get sick. I rolled down the window. I used him as an excuse.
Oh, Faye.
He did
Hey,
really hung his head
whatever.
out the window. He may have been a little sick.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you know, it was one of those things where he handled it so well because we get to the hotel. He hadn't been to the bathroom,
Oh, wow.
Oh,
you know, and so we're trying to check in. They are waiting on us to come into the dinner. And so the girl I was with, she checked us in, took our bags up. I took him across to Central Park. Um,
wow.
and, you know, we come back. and immediately go into this room where everybody is already at, all the other dogs, they're laying down, uh and it was kind of crowded, and I'm like, let's see how this goes. And
Oh,
of
Bo
course,
made his grand
yes,
entrance.
he did. But he was making it because he was barking. He just wanted to meet the other dogs. So
Yeah.
we sat down by Donald, and
Okay.
then that set both of them at ease. But then military dog, ultra.
Ultra.
Canine
Oh,
Ultra.
mhm.
Yeah.
He was she was across from us and under the table, and so they barked. Bo decided to bark. Bo's always going to get the last bark in.
No.
But then I said,
Well,
"Hey, can he just walk around and sniff everybody?" After that, we were fine. He was fine.
Yeah.
oh, good.
Then finally we got to settle down. So it was kind of one of those. Uh, Once we got out of the dinner and got to go over to Central Park and him kind of walk around, he was pretty good. He didn't eat other than the treats I gave him. He didn't eat, so you could tell that he was a little uptight.
Uh-huh.
But fabulous. And so the
Oh.
next morning, obviously, we're going to the Today's Show.
How early did you all have to get up that morning?
We didn't have to be there. I think we met in the lobby at 8. I think it was
Oh,
8,
that wasn't
8:15.
too bad. Okay. That
No,
was,
it was really good.
yeah, that
And
was
so,
better than I thought you were going to
yeah.
say.
So, he again, it's kind of like dogs, and I think he thinks he has to greet them. And
Well,
once he's sniffed and once he's met them, he doesn't want anything to do with them. So we were in the
oh,
lobby. And I'll say this, New York, everybody has dogs walking around. I've never
uh,
seen as many dogs walking around. Uh,
huh.
but he did phenomenal. I mean, we rode in a van with 3 of the dogs. So there was 4
Okay.
of us in one van, and they took the military dog in a different car. And we're
Okay.
sitting around waiting, in a little room, and then we go up to another room, and I thought all the dogs did fantastic considering the Today Show, it's kind of like, shh, be quiet. They're running this thing, and then we're gonna have you
Oh,
stand here so we can pan, and then you're gonna stand over here, and so it was pretty cool. It was
uh-huh.
fast moving. It was
Yeah.
really, really fast moving.
Oh,
Um, and of course, then they line us up, and I can't say it enough. I literally was in total shock. I'll guarantee that everybody else at least thought their dog had a chance, where I didn't, and I have no idea
oh,
why. I don't know why. I
oh,
never thought about him winning.
uh-huh.
But now when I hear other people tell everything that he stands for, from the stray, from being a mutt, from
Uh-huh.
the inmates training him, from the Covenant school shooting, from everything else, he has like 650 visits in 2 years for
Yeah.
AKC. I
Right.
listen to other people and I'm like, wow, I thought your story was really good, but you're my dog. But his
Yeah.
story is really good.
Yeah, of course
So
it is.
he stands for a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
But they pulled that out, and I happened to look over to see how they were announcing it. And when she had
Yeah.
pulled it out of the sack, they had his name on both sides, so it wasn't like she had to turn it around.
Oh,
And I
okay.
had to take a double take because I looked over and I'm like, does that say Sergeant Bo? And then she said
Oh,
it, you know. I kind of
yeah.
cheated a little bit though, because when I went down to hug him, that was for me to try to get my composure.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I liked when you took it because you wanted to keep it as your souvenir.
I did.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
did.
I noticed
Um,
that. I thought she wants to keep
Yeah.
that.
Sure.
and he did
Yeah,
not want me to have it. And
right. Well,
Harrison really wanted it.
He
Harrison
did. Yeah.
really wanted it. I know. I messaged Doug later and said, poor Harrison. He said, "Oh, don't worry. He got a bone too." And I was like, "Well, good,
It was kind of
good."
funny because if you look back at the pictures, every one of the dogs were looking at that toy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They
I
definitely
did
were.
salvage the toy. He tore the S off of one side, but the other side is good. And he doesn't get that toy. I plan on keeping that toy.
Well, now look at this picture. You all are. I mean, Bo is even center stage there. He
Yep.
is center stage.
I just had no idea. I mean, um,
Oh, well, we were
completely,
so excited
completely
for
shocked.
you.
I mean, to go from hundreds of dogs, I really didn't
Uh-huh.
think that when we got to the 25, five in each category, I'll be honest, it was a bunch of big cities and states. And when I listened to, of course, I listened to a couple of your podcasts, Jeff, and I think it was Donald that she had business cards with the QR code, and I
Yeah.
think you did that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
Uh-huh.
I didn't do anything like that. It was just simply my pickleball friends, the place I play. It was a couple of news broadcasts. We made a couple of new friends out of this. I stopped one of them coming out of a store,
Oh, yeah.
and we're friends now. So it's the way it brought everything together was really cool. But I
Yeah.
never expected to get out of that portion. And then of course,
Yeah.
then we're in the top five, and we're going to New
Yeah.
York. And
Right.
I will. I picked everybody but mine. So, and he makes
Oh,
me pay for that. I didn't want him. I
yeah.
did not want
Yeah,
him.
that's what there you go.
I was
Payback, huh?
upset when they wouldn't trade. And he knows something that I don't know apparently.
Yeah. Oh,
So
gosh. Did you
Well,
get your picture with Al Roker?
no, it was so
Oh,
busy up there.
darn.
It was so
Darn.
busy. I did like
Yeah.
Fox. We got to go to Fox and Friends the next
mm-hmm.
day,
Yep.
Uh-huh.
and
I was going to
yeah,
ask you
I
about.
thought he did really well. I thought all the dogs did really well together. I mean, when you look at a picture like that, and all of the dogs
Mm-hmm.
were stationary, were looking. I mean, that
Uh-huh.
right there is hard to get.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
yes, that is a picture. I mean, now I don't think Bo's looking at the camera, and he's kind of, but I mean, that right there is a great picture.
Oh, it is. I mean,
Um,
they are all, yeah, they
Yeah. How
are.
was so?
Look,
Tell us about Fox and Friends. How was that?
So it was really cool. Actually, I think Bo thought he was some star or something because he goes in there like, okay,
well,
I
he
don't see any
is.
other dogs, and he kind of took over as far as he'd lay around and people were coming in and he'd get up and go greet them and lick them and he just seemed he was good both times, but he was really good. He sat up in my lap on the couch. Now he was tired, but
Uh-huh.
that was really fun too. And honestly, it was to sit there and listen to Robin tell his
Uh-huh.
story was just so cool.
Oh,
It was just so cool,
yeah.
and she does it in such a fashion that I understand why he won.
Uh-huh.
All of them were
Well,
worthy of it.
well,
Yeah.
and so are you, Faye. And I'm
Yes.
sure after meeting Robin, you probably heard her say, like I said on many of these podcasts, heroes on both ends of the leash, and she does a really good job of telling the stories of what this dog is doing that's really cool, but also the person
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that is in charge. That Debbie and I had a talk the other day. When we went to Washington D.C., it was to kick off the 14th Hero Dog Awards and to meet with some members of the United States House of Representatives about some laws. And we weren't exactly sure how the day was going to go. We knew that we were meeting with a bunch of folks in a big space, and there was going to be some snacks and some different things, some pictures. And we get there, and they had a huge poster of all four dogs. So Ethan was there, and Moxie, who was a service dog the year before that, and oh shoot, the dog that was a military dog. I can't think of that dog.
Oh,
No, Bo. It was
no.
Bo was the police
Riggs.
dog last year.
yeah.
Yes. Riggs. Was
It
it
might
such
have
a
been Riggs. This dog wasn't a hero dog, American Humane Hero dog. It was a
Oh, okay. Okay.
military, not just, but was a military
Okay.
dog that lived
You're
there
right.
before
Okay.
Washington D.C. And then Maverick, who had won
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
2023, and with all of the media there and all the people that were either House of Representatives or people on their staff, she let each one of us get up at the podium and give time to tell our dog's story.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
then after that, we weren't sure what the rest of the day was. We had other plans that we were going to do different things. And Dr. Robin asked us if we could visit with some of the House of Representatives that they had meetings scheduled up. And I think there were about 10 of them. and
Mhm.
and Maverick couldn't go because he was a USO dog. And the other dog, him and his owner they had to leave. So we went to these I don't know 8 to 10 different House of Representatives office. Me, Ethan, Katie, Moxie,
Moxie.
Dr. Robin, Carson Kressley, uh,
Presley.
and when we got in each of those spaces, she took a brief moment to introduce and tell a little bit about the dog, but gave each one of us in every one of those meetings the opportunity to talk about our dog and what that story does and what they were advocating for would do for animals across the country. And she just does a really, really good job. And
She
I
does.
know they have a ton of things going on, but I'm happy that they continue this Hero Dog Awards and that they recognize folks
Yes.
like you all, Faye, for the things that you all are doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had the lady that helps the inmates train. We stayed in
Oh,
contact afterwards at Paws and Stripes, and we've stayed in contact. But she would always tell me I would send her what's one of the good stories, and hey, Bo did this or hey, Bo did that, and she would always tell me Bo didn't do it. You and Bo
yeah.
did it,
Yeah. There
and
you go.
usually the credit I'm not much for taking. I'll pass it on to him. But I do realize that, I mean, I put him out there. I mean, like I
That's
said, 2
right.
years, we had over 600 visits. AKC has therapy awards as far as 200 visits, you get this level, and he's as high as he can go for
Oh,
AKC.
wow.
Yeah, so
That's amazing.
but we're not done for sure. We're just done.
Right.
We're just retired from the police department. We're not done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I
Yeah.
would love to join you guys sometime.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. We're going to have to get together even outside of West Palm. And you didn't get your picture with Al Roker, but at the
Hey, yeah.
Hero Dog Awards at the gala, there are going to be a bunch of different people that you'll be able to get some really cool pictures with. Uh,
Right.
Probably folks we not even sure right now that we don't know they're going to be there. They
I
always
know.
have some kind of celebrities there that are doing different things. So
Yeah.
that'll be really cool. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen pictures. Unfortunately, sometimes he's hard to get a picture unless there's good light behind him. You know.
Oh, he needs his special lighting, huh?
Yep.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
you need to get one of those battery controlled halo lights.
Halo lights. Yes, they
Take it with
do.
you. When it's time
Yeah.
to get his
You
picture, just
know,
hold it up there, get a good
we
shot.
want to get them in their best light,
Yeah,
really.
he's really hard. Sometimes I'll look. Of course, sometimes he's under a pile of kids.
Hmm.
Well,
And
yeah.
but you really, to get good pictures of him, I have to work to get good pictures of him.
Uh, well, the
So
message the kids sent you all was precious. That was
yes,
really
yes.
sweet.
So
That
so
was
I was actually so we were actually at Goodlettsville Middle with the production crew,
okay.
and that's when that was videoed. Um,
Uh-huh.
and I had no idea why. There
Yeah.
was a lot of
Oh,
things. So I watched your podcast with a couple of them with
Huh?
Dan, Lieutenant Dan.
Yep.
I think I
yeah.
watched three: Harrison and then Donald. And
Uh-huh.
I should have known when they were coming back on Friday. It still
Oh,
did
well,
not
that's exactly
register.
what
We kind of
that's what I said
wondered.
to Debbie. I was like, wait a minute. I remember Faye telling us they were staying until Saturday. There, and I didn't. We didn't think about this till after the fact, but I was like, that was
I
our
didn't
clue
either.
right there.
I
Yeah.
think she had one of the ladies. I had said something, or she had said, they had sent the agenda and said this may not be the final agenda. So I had sent her a message and
Okay.
said, "Hey, is this the final agenda?" And she said, "Well, not sure." She said, "And the flight may change too." And she said we couldn't get accommodations on the flights Friday, so that's why you're flying out Saturday. I just believed
Oh,
her,
Right.
sneaky.
Never thought.
Sneaky,
Yeah, they
was
were
it?
good. They kept it.
Yeah.
We laughed afterwards because I told a couple of them that work. I said, "You guys realize that I never thought that we would win, and I had no clue." And they knew that. I mean, it was just such a
Oh,
surprise, a great surprise. Um,
yes, for
we
sure.
yesterday we went to Covenant to
Oh,
spend and to spend some time, and actually we did when the production crew came out, for whatever reason, and I learned a lesson. I thought, yeah, we can't go out there. They usually don't have stuff like that, and they don't let media out there. So I didn't ask, could we come out there? And I later learned after the production crew was gone that because it was for Bo, they would have let us come out there.
Mm.
So we went
Oh.
yesterday
Oh.
to actually use a video, my phone, to get a couple of teachers interviews and kids interviews to send to
Oh,
them.
good. Oh,
And
good.
it was, you know, you don't realize what you do and the impact you
The
make
impact you
until
make,
you
yeah.
hear it from other people. I would love to have every teacher out there have a little video on what he did for them that day, just for me to
Uh-huh.
keep. And I may try to work
Yeah.
on that. But to
Yeah.
listen to these two teachers and to realize, that day what we did, mainly
Uh-huh.
him, but we never stopped. We never took a break. He never indicated he needed to go outside. He never
Mm.
indicated that he was tired. So from the time the kids got there on the bus until the last person left the church, he got
Bo was
water.
working.
Bo was
Yeah.
working. Bo was working.
Yeah.
And so it was
Mm.
pretty good because they do chapel every morning. And I had no idea that part of that chapel, they knew I was coming because of the video that I needed to do. Part of that
Uh-huh.
chapel was to get us up in front, and it was to a standing ovation going up front.
Oh.
And then they had a little clip from one of the TV stations that they played. Yeah, so it was real heartwarming.
Your
So,
video is really going to get to you in West Palm.
well, probably won't be my interview because I kind of man, you talk about I can normally I can talk all day about the dog and show all kinds of emotions. You put that video camera and all those lights up there, and I'm like,
Oh, you're going to be fine. You're going to be,
it
you're,
was kind
you
of funny. One of the people that they interviewed was the original principal of the school that we
oh,
started at. He kind of helped. We were waiting on permission from the school for it to pass, for them to allow us to have him.
yeah.
And he made a couple of phone calls, and then it was passed. And he's been great with Bo. He loves Bo. Bo actually helped him out the day that he was announcing his retirement from the school,
Uh,
because when I say a principal that was loved, it's a principal that was loved. And
uh-huh.
he was sitting in the floor right before making the announcement to the teachers. We were in his office, and Bo, he always licks him, but he put his paws up on his shoulder that day.
Mm.
And I happened to make pictures and print that picture out, not even thinking later what day it was. But
Oh,
it was funny because they interviewed him and he came out of the room, and I'm just looking at him real funny. He said, "I cried." I'm like, "I know, I can tell. You make me look bad. I didn't
oh,
cry."
oh, goodness.
So
Oh, well, do you all have a lot more appearances and things to do before West Palm?
I don't know. It was kind of like yesterday. One of the local newspapers
Yeah,
wanted some
reached out.
statements, and so it's kind of that hit or miss. We did.
Yeah.
I think it was ABC News Live by Zoom on
Oh,
Monday.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were supposed to. So the trip back, I didn't tell you the trip back from New
Oh,
York.
oh no,
Woo.
how was that?
Um. So we were staying. We were supposed to leave out at, I think it was 3:50 on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And so we get there again like 2.5 hours before. Then they knocked the then it got delayed till, gosh, it was 4:30. So mind you,
Oh,
the dog hadn't been to the bathroom. Uh
uh,
and then it was delayed again. I think we boarded maybe like 5 or 5:15. And
oh,
they said when we boarded, they said we're gonna have to pull over here and wait for about 30 minutes because
Ugh.
Nashville had a
oh,
shutdown. So
oh
unfortunately,
my.
the trip back, they had we were on row 9. It wasn't
Oh,
any room for a 69.
rude.
Well, actually, they took the girl I was traveling with and moved her to row 11. So I thought, okay,
Oh,
we
yeah.
got the whole seat. And here comes the guy, and he looks at me. He says, "That's my seat." And I'm like, I said, "Well, let me say this. He's going to ride on your feet unless you want to swap with my travel partner back here."
Well, yeah,
And
there
he
you
did.
go.
We sat
Okay.
30 minutes, 35 minutes, and then they got to taxi, and I thought we were going to take off. And so the pilot came on and said, "We are number 6 to take off."
Oh
Okay.
my.
So we were waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and he's, I guess, moving around the runways, and then he stops. And he had
Oh,
pulled over, and he said, "We're in a holding area." He said, "Looks like Nashville is closed. We'll keep you updated."
Oh
We
no.
sat a long time until finally he said,
Oh.
"We're looking for a gate. We're going to take you back," and the flight was canceled.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yes,
whoa.
yes. So
Oh
we were
no.
put up in a hotel, and they booked a flight. The only flight that they could get us on Sunday was at 9:30 Sunday night.
Oh my
And I'm like,
goodness.
the hotel right around in there, it wasn't, we wouldn't have had anything to do. And
Yeah.
like I said, we were talking, and it wasn't no guarantee that that flight would take off.
Oh,
So
okay.
we talked to them, and we rented a car, and we drove back 14 hours
Oh wow.
Oh,
on Sunday.
did
Yes, yes,
you?
we did. We drove back 14 hours on Sunday. But the neat thing was we made the right decision because we watched the flight, and it got delayed from 9:30 till 11, and I'm like, we would have been in that airport that entire time, and
Oh,
it never took off. It got
Oh wow.
canceled.
oh,
So we would have
wow.
been stuck in New York till Monday, and as we all know, Monday was probably worse than any day.
Yeah.
We'd
Yeah.
eventually had to drive back anyway. So yeah, we drove
Oh,
back.
goodness.
Wow.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
so much for not having any kind of kinks in the travel plan.
Ooh, yep.
Well, let's hope.
I
Goodness.
think it'll all be worked out come January.
I was just getting ready
Oh,
to say, not
wow.
with the government open back up. Hopefully by January,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's all going. Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the last year when we were flying out from Louisville to we were on different flights. Debbie was with a couple of folks, and she was on a different flight. But the day we flew out from Louisville to West Palm, it snowed about 10 to 12 inches in Louisville, and we got out on.
Yes.
Ethan and I got out on a flight at about 6:30 in the morning, and Debbie's flight was the last flight to take off from Louisville at like
Yes.
8 or 8:30 in the morning for
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah. We were out on the runway and you couldn't even see out the windows, Faye, because of the snow coming down
I'd
so
have been wanting to
quickly.
get off the plane.
Well, yeah, we were kind of thinking that too. And and they were de-icing and then they would de-ice again and then they would de-ice again. And then the pilot started just driving. And we're like, okay, he's not going out the runway. Where is he going? He went to a UPS runway, which was the only runway still open.
Woo.
And he told us, he said, hold on, you all are going to be the last flight out
Hold on.
today.
Oh my gosh.
Hold
And
on.
we're like,
No.
okay.
Faye,
So
we were on
luckily we
a flight.
drove out Sunday because there was some snow and stuff Monday up in
Yes.
Gatlinburg and the mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we ran into the drive back, we had pretty weather. I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be an awesome day through New York. And as we got further, we ran into rain, and then we got to Tennessee and we ran into snow, a little bit of
Uh,
snow that night. And I'm like, we made it back. So I'm really glad that we decided to drive.
did the
Yeah,
drive.
good
Yeah.
decision. I was flying from let's see, we were going. I think it was when we were going to North Carolina to do a presentation at a conference, and we were flying from Charlotte to somewhere else in North Carolina. It was like a 40
Raleigh. Did
minute,
you fly into Raleigh
might have
or
been Raleigh. It
no?
was like a
Yeah.
45-minute flight, not very long at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And we get on, and we sit there, and we sit there, and we sit there. And after about an hour of just sitting on the plane, like Ethan was being really, really good. I couldn't have asked for him to be better. But,
I agree.
it's an hour sitting in one little spot.
Yeah.
So after
Spot.
about an
Yeah.
hour, he was getting just a little bit restless. So I got him up and just started walking him up and down the aisle of the plane. And
Yeah.
people were petting him and taking pictures and a bunch of different stuff. And I bet we were sat on the plane for about 2 hours for a 45-minute flight before
4 minute
they took
flight.
off.
In that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Faye, you were talking about the difference in the rows of the seats. Jeff has to book early to make sure that he's got that front
Front
row
row seat.
there because Ethan wouldn't
Right.
Yeah,
have room at all.
he won't fit in a regular. He can't walk into a regular aisle because
Oh yeah.
he's
Well,
wider than the aisle.
Yeah.
he couldn't turn around or
Yeah.
but he was just so perfect. It's like, okay, I'm gonna lay down, and he laid down the entire time we waited. He never
Oh,
sat up, he never did anything. He just laid there. It's
what a
kind of
good
like
one.
there was a lady with a baby and she's having to walk up and down the aisle.
Yeah,
to keep the
Yeah.
baby from crying. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, you're just perfect,
Yeah.
and he did great. So
Dogs
we're
do
both,
better than, yeah, they do better than
yes,
we do.
we're both confident in traveling and flying now. So
Yeah, oh, well, that's good. Hopefully, the flights to West Palm will be less
yep.
dramatic. And
I have a feeling most places I go now, I'll fly instead of drive.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, for sure. And will you fly out of Nashville?
Yeah.
Is that where
Yeah.
you fly out of? So you might
Yep.
run over. You like if it's on American, you might like buzz over to like Charlotte at some point. We fly through
yeah,
from Louisville to West Palm on American. We fly through Charlotte.
yeah. We
Yeah.
may run into you at the Charlotte airport.
I'm hoping it's just a straight shot through.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with those.
Well, my husband will get to go, so that'll be
That'll,
nice.
Uh-huh.
He
that'll be
couldn't
good.
go this
Yes.
time, and he was pretty sad, and but I said, look, you're gonna get to go to Palm Beach, and so I'm kind of stoked for him about that. That's why I said we'd
Well,
probably stay a
sure.
couple extra days, because it
Yeah.
has been rough, and so a bunch of my friends, and I have the video. They had a watch party,
Oh, how
for that.
fun.
And it was
Uh-huh.
so cool. Now there was a lot of mix up on times. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I sent somebody a message that said, "Did you see that we won?" And they had no idea,
Oh,
Oh,
but they didn't tell
okay.
anybody. Yeah,
Okay.
they had a watch party, and I've had so many people tell me that they cried. That they
Yeah.
cried when that announcement was made, and that
Yeah.
just
Oh,
that amazes me.
oh,
So
no. There were
well,
a lot of tears.
I'll have you know, Faye, as the Today Show is on. We're sitting in court, and I've got my iPad, the volume all the way down, and we're watching it in court. And
Yes.
about the time that your segment comes on is when that attorney asked us to step into this room. And
Yes.
so we step into the room. We were so excited. We've been so happy and excited to do all this these podcasts and all this awareness and for the hero dogs. And at the moment of the segment, we're in there talking to this attorney. So we get out and I'm like, who won? Who won? And
Yeah.
so we were pulling up my iPad trying to go back because I had recorded it on or tried to record it on Hulu, thinking we could go back on Hulu to watch the segment. So it took us a few minutes to figure out exactly what had happened.
Right. I had Jeff's phone when he was talking to the Commonwealth attorney. So I've got it in my lap and I'm trying to glance down at it. And all I could see, and I told Jeff later, I said, I saw Sergeant Bo with a red bone, but I don't know if that meant,
that was it.
I
That was
didn't know
it.
if that meant he won because it couldn't, there was no volume or anything. So
Yep.
yeah, we said at that exact moment it
Yeah.
would happen, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it
it's
court,
all worked.
the judges and the bailiffs have a real issue if you're trying to watch television in the
Yeah,
courtroom.
they're
yeah.
they're not real
Yeah, they
keen
won't
on
allow
that.
phones or anything in the courtroom. You better not have the phones out up here.
Oh well, we had our phones out.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, just the thought of it, just I don't know. We had a rough year anyway when he had the surgery, and
Yeah,
he healed from the surgery. There was a lot of back and forth, and I wasn't happy with them saying, we're gonna let him go, and so it was kind of, and then he has the second surgery, and but I always knew he would heal, and I
yeah,
kind of look at it this way. Sure, it wasn't. I loved being able to tie a police officer in because you have people that don't like the police. You have people that are
right.
fearful, especially kids. And
Definitely.
you would have people come up and talk just because of the dog, and then you get to
Uh-huh.
make a good impression on them. And
Yeah,
hopefully they take that away. So I hate that that is gone, but in a sense, I think there'll be some opportunities that open up for us.
yeah,
That's what my hope
definitely.
is,
Yeah.
that we do
Oh
more
yeah.
than just visit some local schools. That's, I don't know how. I'm not that kind of minded person, but I need to get there. Um but it happened, and I still miss it. But I'm going to the same schools. It's just not as
Yeah.
an officer,
Right.
and
Right.
you don't make
Right.
that connection, but we still get to, you know, calm people down or make people smile or whatever it is that we're going to do, that's going to become of this.
Yeah,
You
your
know,
journey you've got a whole new journey starting.
Yeah.
More
I
doors
hope
are
that I
gonna
got to figure
open.
out which directions we can go,
Yeah.
and got a couple of people that had mentioned to me long before this, hey, you need to write a kids book. I don't write. He said, you need to get a kids book written. And just on, just for kids to read, the
Uh-huh.
message, don't judge a book by the cover. And the fact that second chances, I mean, second chances are
Mm-hmm.
so important in life.
Right.
And you don't have to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. That's what I
Right.
hope people take away from this, that we stop breeding and breeding and breeding. You got
Yeah.
so many good mutts in the world that
Uh-huh.
that need homes that can do exactly what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do have a full bred lab, but I mean, look at I got 3 rescues too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
And
all of them
then,
are mixed. All of them are mixed with something.
well,
When I say he's a classic mutt, he's a classic mutt. I mean, that's what
well,
we called him growing up, and but he's one of the best. I
yeah,
guess
he
There,
now he
there are
is.
some.
definitely is in a elite category with some
Yeah.
very special dogs.
Shelters are
Yeah.
full everywhere,
They
and there
are.
are some fantastic dogs that are
Right.
shelters. And the only advice I could give folks is, if you adopt a dog from the shelter, rename the dog Bo, because the last
Yes.
two
And
hero
enter
dogs
him
Yeah.
and
have been
and enter him in
Bo.
the American Humane the next year.
Well, and
Yeah.
honestly, that was the other thing. I'm like,
They
your last
won't
year's
do
winner was
another
named
boat.
Bo, spelt the
Yes.
same way. I said they're not going to pick another Bo this year.
I know.
Well, that
We were
just,
trying to
I mean,
be,
that goes to show you they're looking at the story and what you guys are doing,
They were,
and
yeah,
don't care about the rest of it.
yeah.
that's right.
And I
We
really
tried
think,
to overanalyze
yes,
sometimes.
Yeah.
they love his story. I mean,
Yes.
there's so many people that I'm connected with that love his story, because he stands for a lot.
Yeah. Well,
And I
we,
do hope people take away from quit breeding and adopt. The You look at the
right.
shelters, I never would have dreamed that I would have seen labs and
Uh,
golden retrievers and all of these dogs in shelters or in places that they're being euthanized.
uh,
But that shows that we're overbreeding,
right.
at least in this part of the country. Now,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know
well,
that other parts of the country that's not true.
yeah.
There's a place here in close to where I live. It's ARC, and they do a lot of the hoarding cases, and they go
Mhm.
out and they bring the
Mm,
dogs back in, and they do all kinds of the court cases. Uh, but they get the dogs ready, and then they ship them. I think up to
Up north,
places
yeah.
like, yeah,
north. Yeah.
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 So
We've
where they
heard
don't
that.
have that
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we're
Yeah.
missing the boat around here for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Kentucky's in that same bad boat.
Yeah.
Well, I know they go all over, so I think they've rescued stuff in Kentucky and brought it back
Oh,
too.
I'm sure.
So, and
Yeah.
it's some pretty cool people that do that.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
and this will just be, Faye, you're going to find this is just a stepping stone, and you'll be able to use
Yes.
this as just another door that will it'll allow some other doors to open for you that maybe hadn't opened before, or will give you some ideas. And
Hopefully,
yeah, and
that's the
It will.
goal.
so it's going to be story won't stop, and we're really looking forward to meeting you all in person down in West Palm, and celebrating Bo and the other dogs, the other finalists there. It's going to be a really, really cool time.
Yeah.
We talk about doors opening up, and I'll say this. When we retired, I'm like, well, we're not going to do anything but visit schools. But so I don't know if I mentioned this before, but 3 days after we retired, you heard of Project Canine Hero?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they picked him up and pay all of his medical bills for the rest of his
Oh,
life.
that's cool.
And
That's,
Oh, no.
what an organization that
yeah.
is.
Wow.
So it's
Mhm.
he's and they did that, I think, on his story. He's
Yeah.
not they do military and police
Mm-hmm.
dogs, and so, he's a little bit different than most police dogs.
Right.
Yeah. But,
Right.
But you have a
Well,
lot of places now that have therapy dogs.
well,
yeah.
and there's so many people don't realize. So that's great that organization would do it. People don't realize, and we've talked with Sharon about this. Shout out to Icon, who was a military
Hmm.
hero dog the year that Ethan won. a hero dog, and Icon has since passed away. But Icon served in the Army, served in
Uh-huh.
and was injured in the Army, then served in the Marines. Uh, and then when retired, there's,
They dropped him.
they don't pay
Mhm.
for any medical bills. And
Right.
they have a wonderful organization like you're talking about. They require the people that end up adopting him to pay for whatever medical
Yep.
bills
Yeah.
come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mm.
there's several, but this one, I mean, what Jason is doing, it's just phenomenal because, these dogs are getting cancer and they're getting cancer treatment. And most of the stuff they're getting, your handlers couldn't afford,
Mhm.
Right.
So,
Exactly. Yeah.
so there's a
Mm.
lot of good, but yeah, they picked him up and for the rest of his life.
That's
That's
fantastic.
wonderful.
That's
Yeah.
So,
fantastic.
That's really. Oh, yeah.
Well, hopefully, I think hopefully you guys are coming in on January the 7th. I know we'll be in West Palm Beach on the 7th. Hopefully we avoid all the snow that comes around the Kentucky, Tennessee area around that
I
time.
hope so.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to have a good time celebrating. And like I say, Debbie and I are, uh, what I would like to do is come to the the last couple of times I've come, I've tried to get like a few little live videos or a couple of videos for people to sort of watch. What I would like to do is sort of set up my little iPad here and just do like a live podcast and interview some folks that are coming through and talking to people, just so people get an idea of um, what happens there and the really cool vibe and the scene it is, and honoring these dogs.
Yeah.
It was one of the things that meant a lot to me the
Uh-huh.
year that Ethan won the shelter category, and we went down there because he won because of all this incredible group of people that believed in his story and voted for him. So I wanted to give those people the same experience that we were having,
Right.
and I
Yeah.
still feel that way. Like I'm on this podcast right now because of the incredible people that support Ethan and what he does, and that
Mhm.
allows us to get on here and talk to him and listen to amazing stories like you and Bo have. And so I just like to give back and give those people the experience that not everyone
Yeah.
can drive down to or fly down to West Palm and go to
Right.
sports, but
Yeah.
just to let people know that it's a really cool event that's honoring uh, dogs from all different genres that are doing some really cool,
Yep.
amazing things.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
my son and new daughter-in-law are going to go, and that's really
Oh,
cool
that's
for
going to be
me.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
So,
Okay. Well, we
yeah,
may even run into you in Charlotte's airport. We'll see.
that's true. That's true.
We might.
I'll probably be picking your brain a little bit on Palm
Hey,
Beach a little
let's
bit.
do it.
Okay.
Let's grab some
That'll
coffee
be
down in.
good.
Because I've seen pictures. So, you always kind of I always kind of like to know what I'm going into a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So,
Well, anytime.
Yeah, it's very cool. Um, and what I like is it's another event of it's all about the dogs.
yeah.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
I'm sure Carson will probably be down there, uh, but he's a big dog supporter and lover, and he's been the MC the last several years and does a lot of things with American Humane. But um,
Right.
it's a really cool thing. We can sit around and we get down there and go down to the lobby and have some coffee and sit around and talk about some really cool things that we might even be able to collaborate on. We're not very far
I
away,
agree.
a couple hours.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Actually, my new daughter-in-law, that's where she is from, and that's where her parents and everybody lives. So
Up in Louisville.
it'd
Oh,
be a
well,
great trip. It would be a
Good.
great trip up, and I could see family,
Well, they're
extended
good.
family.
perfect.
Those are good folk then.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
All
Well,
right.
we
So
can't wait to see you.
for everyone else, this is some Ethan stuff. You have until 6 o'clock tonight to get your opportunities for that Ethan Fall decoration package, and then Ethan will pick a winner probably around 7 o'clock tonight on EthanLive. Pick a winner for the Ethan Fall package. I want to thank everyone for coming out to the little Peddlers Mall art show.
Hmm.
The other day, there were vendors outside, there were food trucks. We had completely prepared and dressed to be outside in the cold weather, and we got there,
Yeah.
and the wonderful lady that runs the Peddlers Mall said, no, you guys come inside.
Right.
And so it kind of turned the opposite. We dressed really warm to be outside in the cold, and then we were sweating
Yeah.
because we were inside. But
Yeah.
that was okay.
We had
I was
on so
okay.
many layers we couldn't bend our
I was
knees.
okay with that because it was really cold outside.
Yeah, it was really good. But it was
So
good.
But Faye, thank you so much once again for coming on.
Yeah.
You've
Thank you for
probably been
having us.
on. You're probably the guest that's been on the most to the Ethan Live podcast. So thank you.
Hey,
Yeah,
perfect.
Anytime.
we'll start.
Anytime.
Okay.
Just
And
send me
we'll
an ad.
stay in touch again
Yeah, send
before
me an
West
address
Palm.
and we'll start sending you a check down to you. Just to.
Wait, where's mine?
I do free stuff.
Oh, okay.
We're
Okay.
volunteers now. We're volunteers
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
yeah.
I think I am too. So I don't
Yeah.
want to mess with
It's
my
always good to be
retirement.
that way though.
It's
Yeah.
amazing the things that you that become such a passion that you want to volunteer for. It's not
Yes.
even.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not even a. And chore is not even the right word, but it's not
No,
even an
it's a
inconvenience
joy.
to volunteer for it.
No,
You do it
no, it's a
because you love
joy.
to do it. Yeah.
No, I
Right.
really would like to figure out how to take some shelter dogs and train them to the point where people could take and do the same thing that we did.
Hmm.
I don't know if that'll ever
Uh-huh.
happen, but
Hey, well,
anything's possible.
Yeah.
that's right. You put it out there and you start working to see what you can do.
And
Yeah.
I may look at the laws in Tennessee just like
Look at
you're
him.
doing
I
in
was
Yeah.
just
Kentucky.
Yeah.
as we were just sitting here talking. I kind of kind of put out a quick little message about what the laws in Tennessee were, and they've got a few that are misdemeanors, but they got a couple levels that arise to in Tennessee, which is a Class E felony, which is probably, if I'm thinking about Kentucky, probably the lowest felony charge. I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need
Uh-huh.
to figure out how to in Tennessee. We need to figure out how to way to get that moved up, just like we do in Kentucky, to Class
That's right.
C, Class
Yeah.
B, some kind of a higher
Yeah.
felony.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I would just say follow your passion and what you're doing, and I've always believed in the fact of surrounding yourself, and when I say yourself, I'm talking about me, with smart people who
Right.
have great ideas.
Mm.
And
That's what I'm looking for.
yeah, smart people with great ideas,
That's what
and
I'm looking for.
then you
I mean, I
take it
spent
and just run
34 and a
with
half
it.
years helping people.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
all I know
Right.
is to help people. So
And
now and that's all I want to do. So, but I need
right.
that smart people to give me that leeway. I'm a worker. You tell me what
Yeah.
to do and I'm going to go do it. So that's just
Well,
who I am.
yeah. It's
Has there,
gonna happen.
before we jump off, have you guys gotten any word of whether this year's Hero Dog Award Gala will be uh, uh, it'll be reshown on television anywhere?
Hadn't heard anybody say.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I know the last few
Okay.
years they've shown. One year they had like highlights. One years they showed
Yeah.
like the dogs' videos and different things. So hopefully that's something that pops up. But I think it changes from year to year. So
Yeah. Seems to. So
Yeah, I can't
okay.
wait to see the video. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah. That's yeah.
so
All
quick
right.
question. You
Yep.
didn't know until the gala that you had won, right?
No.
Because
No.
I saw the reaction and I
No.
thought, well, he must have not
No.
found out until then.
No.
What a
No.
place to find out.
No.
No.
So,
We
It was
and so
exciting though.
so the Ethan's year there was voting to get to. There were 7 categories,
Yes.
and there was voting to get to the top 3. Then when you got to the top 3, there were in total there were 21 dogs, 3 in each category, and then there was voting to get to the category winner
oh wow.
that
Yes.
got to West Palm. Then there was another 6 to 7 weeks of voting of the 7 category winners to get to the
To
hero
be
dog
the
winner.
winner.
And
Yeah.
so when we got, like I said, like I was have told so many people, there were several dogs that had a lot more social media than what we had. So I
Oh,
went into it
definitely.
honestly, Faye, with the same thought that you did: was we've got no chance of winning. I'm just gonna enjoy this ride
Right.
and be
Uh-huh.
so happy that Ethan is recognized as this national shelter dog.
Yep.
Yes.
And we even had we were supposed to have like a dinner the night before to talk about, like, run a show for the gala the night before, and this hurricane was coming through, and so we just quickly all met at one of the rooms in the hotel during the afternoon to talk about what was going to happen. And they said to us at the hotel during this meeting, don't be alarmed. We're going to have you all sitting in different places
Oh yeah,
around
we were
around the room. You're not going to be together. All 7 dogs will be in different places around the room. So don't be alarmed when you see a camera next to you, because we want to get an honest reaction when they announce the winner. So before they did that, I kind of glanced over and I saw a camera there, but
Yeah.
Again, they tricked me because I thought, well, everybody has a camera around them
Right.
because they don't know who's
Yeah.
going to win.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, honestly, Faye, I tell people this all the time. We had already received our Shelter Hero Dog
Shelter
Award,
award.
and
Yeah.
I've got that. You see me looking down in that video, and I'm looking down at that award because I'm thinking to myself, there's no reason to be disappointed when a different dog's name is called.
I know
I'm
you're
Right.
so
feeling.
I'm so happy that we're here and that he's been
Mhm.
recognized. And so when they announced his name, it was a complete shock. I
Yeah, we
had
were
no idea.
shocked.
Yeah.
We
I
were.
definitely can feel you on that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was.
Well,
So,
when they took us into our to find our tables too, Faye, we kind of thought that all the dogs, like he said, would be kind of together. Well, we were in the very back, last row,
oh
Back
wow.
corner.
in front of the sound system
So
people.
I thought we were like, okay,
So
it's
it's
an
like,
afterthought.
okay, they
Oh
put baby in the corner.
yeah. Oh yeah. We forgot Ethan's here. Let's put him over in the corner. Like
I
but it
mean,
was
we
all
could not have been more to the back of the
yeah.
room if they tried.
Yeah.
But
It was
it turned out when his name was announced, and I said, I'll never forget those people that were behind us that were doing the sound and the lighting, they stood up and
yeah.
were clapping for
Yep.
Ethan.
It was
So
an interesting yeah, it was an interesting time that we'd had.
yeah.
I love to think about that, and we've got this wonderful video that you guys will see on the 9th that you'll have as a keepsake forever.
Uh-huh.
That you'll look back on that, and it's just a really cool thing that I think they do a great job of
Right.
recognizing the dogs. So
Yep.
that's why we
It'll be a
continue to be a part.
special night.
Yeah,
Hey, if you
it'll be
will
fun.
send me your mailing address, I will send you a bow dog.
Okay,
A
very
stuffed
very
one.
cool. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, because I'll have some things I'm going to bring down to West Palm too. So because we've got some things I love to give to folks, just as little giveaways, and to to thank them for being a part. And we're always thankful, Faye, for you to come on and talk about
yeah.
your
Thank
all's
you.
experience, because I think people love to hear that and hear your story, but also
Oh yeah.
hear like all these really cool little experiences of flying up there and having to drive back like that. Those are all memories that you think of at the time, or like, oh
Oh
man.
yeah. I got to
Yeah.
go through more states than I've been through in my entire life. So there you
Oh, well,
go.
there you go.
And he did great. I mean, he slept a big portion of it. He'd stand up a little bit. Phenomenal on 14-hour rides.
Oh,
Very
good
cool.
for
And he
him.
was so
Good.
happy to be home. He got to running and playing with my lab, and so he was happy to be home as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, you stay in touch. We'll
Yeah,
be
for
sure
sure.
to
Yeah,
go to
well,
West
yeah,
Palm.
and I'll send that address. We'll stay in touch, and we'll meet up
Cool.
when we get down there. And for everyone else, tune in probably around 7 o'clock tonight if I can get some of this mess I've got cleaned up, and Ethan can pick a winner for this fall package. And then we have another really cool thing to put out there, but people will have till 6. I'll put the link out there later.
All
Faye, thank
right.
you so much for joining us once again.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Faye.
Give Bo a big hug and kiss for us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Congratulations, Bo.
Hey, thank y'all. Thanks
You
for
guys
Thank
have a
having us.
wonderful day.
you.
Thank you very much.